All right. And just to kind of get us started here with some more kind of housekeeping, admin stuff, this is kind of the setup for today. First, we'll talk about Brack Tours, what makes Brack Tours unique, the tours in Ireland that they offer, and basically how partnering with us can benefit you and your clients. And then the second part, we'll have Colm discuss the tours. So that's going to be a little bit, they sell a multitude of different group tours, custom tours, but today we're going to be highlighting 4 specific featured tours. So you definitely won't want to miss that. And then at the end, we'll have the Q&A. And again, stick around till the end and we'll announce who our $200 Visa gift card winner is. So with that, let's talk about who we have speaking today. First, Nuala, do you want to introduce yourself? Tell them a little bit about you.
Thank you, Cassie, and good evening all. Good afternoon with you. It's evening here in Ireland. And firstly, I'd like to also thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to join us for our webinar as we give you a little introduction to Brack Tours. And I know for some of you, it may even be the first introduction to the island of Ireland. So hope you enjoy it and find it beneficial going forward. So as Cassie said, my name is Nuala Saul. I am the Managing Director of Brack Tours. And with over 30 years working in tourism, both here in Ireland and in the US, I suppose I feel I have gained extensive life and work experience, acquiring the vital skills and the qualities needed for our exciting tourism industry that we love.
Perfect. And Colm, what about, oh, go ahead, sorry.
In 2007, a joint marital decision was made for me to return to Ireland. And that was with my husband and 3 children, and with the already very close working relationship with our founder, Peter Clark, we set up to develop the tour company that we had always dreamed of. And although I'm a County Tyrone native originally, we have settled here in Newry, County Down, which is midway between Dublin and Belfast, and it is known as the Gateway of the North. It's in an area of outstanding natural beauty set amidst the Mournes and the mountains and the Ring of Gullion. So I'll pass you on to Colm and he'll give you his introduction.
Well, morning, afternoon, evening, big kid Mila Falcha. So my name's Colm Murphy. Again, I'm in the industry a long time, and I'm part of the sales and marketing team, but I'm also one of the tour directors that you'll find out in the road with our groups in particular, and I'm a national Falcha Ireland guide, as I have extensive knowledge of the country and experience both from being on the road and being in the office, planning tours, etc. and that. So we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to what we're offering. And I'm looking forward to chatting to you later on then on the tours that we're offering and what all we can do for you. So I hope you enjoy the webinar.
Perfect. Thank you both so much. I know we could sit here and listen to your accents all day and not get bored. So thank you for that. We'll have Nuala kind of give a little introduction to Brack Tours.
Yeah, so there's the man himself. That's our founder, the infamous Peter Clark, who has over 40 years experience within the travel industry. And many of you have met him or crossed paths over the years. And Peter has worked at every level of the tour business over his experience. And Peter he's a profound passion and knowledge for Ireland, and that dwelled right in through our team. So about us, who are we? In 2010, Brack Tours was officially set up, and immediately Peter and I set out in the building up of the Brack Tours brand. At that time, our aim was to recruit and train similar hardworking, like-minded and passionate tourism colleagues. The company, thankfully, has grown organically to date, and we continue to retain our valued relationships, of course, within the travel industry, it's really very vital to the successful tour operator. We have a small, close team of highly skilled and experienced staff based in Dublin, Galway, Newry, Boston, and they're allowing flexibility for that work-life balance, which lends itself, I suppose, to the high staff retention that we have. And we are all very proud to sell the island of Ireland. And as I'm sure all of us, we all have our own favourites dotted across the island. So we live here, we work here, we love here. And again, our team, they have an immense wealth of product knowledge as well. So that comes across in the various packages that you'll hear about, whether it's the FIT or the groups package. And our maintain our very high standards of customer care. We're a small team, we're at the end of the phone or an email, and we're also here to welcome your feedback from agents as to what your clients need. And there we have our professional memberships. So in ITOA, we joined ITOA in 2019, and it is the Inbound Tourism Operators Association of Ireland, of which there are 34 members. And the ITOA is the representative body, which is it's recognised, I suppose, across with the stakeholders in the Irish tourism industries. You've got Tourism Ireland, Falch Ireland, Tourism Northern Ireland. And in 2019, I was invited actually to join on the executive committee. And currently I'm honoured to hold the title of presidency of the ITOA. And there you'll see a photograph of me with my chains on me that was taken a few weeks ago in County Kilkenny, where we had a wonderful weekend networking with our stakeholders. Then we have our green tourism. So the green tourism, again, in 2019, we embraced the green tourism business scheme, and our green members, they took on that drive to work towards the gold accreditation. And we are proud to say we are the first Irish inbound tour operator to receive our gold award. Currently now, we are also members of Sustainable Tourism Network, or STN, and that's working towards our official accreditation. It will take time, and that is in accordance with the CSTC, which is the GSTC, which is the Global Sustainable Tourism Council. It is a work in progress, but our green team are very energised and enjoying the training and the journey so far. And we want to ensure that our operations will align then with the best practices of responsible tourism. Our testimonials, there many are just dotted across our website, and we are delighted and very, very proud. And it's a great testament of our team of staff that I speak very highly of. And some of the testimonials, they'll range from coming from the group leaders, whether it's a special interest tour or a special interest group, FITs, and the multi-generational package. And you'll always see, and they also will, many of them will make comment regarding the backup support and what it was like dealing with Brack Tours in the process, in the booking process, and the planning, right to the very end stage when it's all about the guides and it's all about the driver guides, which that is reflected a lot and spoken very highly of throughout the website. So speaking of guides, there you have our wonderful Colm Murphy, our modest Colm Murphy, as he introduced himself. Colm, like Peter, is one of the most sought after driver guides throughout Ireland and a national guide. And that wonderful photograph there was taken quite recently, I believe, and that was with a lovely group in the County Tyrone up at the Hill of O'Neill. So I just wish, if only one wish, and that would be that we could clone Colm and Peter. But in saying that, we do have a selection of hand-picked driver guides as well that we work on various programs, and we will adapt to suit those and allocate them depending on the type of program or tour product that you need. So whether it's a multi-generation, family, special occasion, or a niche type of group, we will work hard to allocate the guides. But we have never had an issue with any of our guides except massive, massive compliments. And again, it's testament to our 5-star Google ratings.
Absolutely. And it's never been easier to get to Ireland as well with nonstop flights, which Nuala will talk about as well.
Yeah, that's right, Cassie. There you have Aer Lingus. It's our national carrier, and it's iconic with the green and the blue, and our shamrock, of course. And I'm sure a lot of the agents here are familiar with Aer Lingus. They have 12 or 13 non-stop services. Some of them, they're listed there, and recently the latest one, I believe, was Nashville, which has started. We also have an additional airline connectivity. It's, as you said, it's never been easier to get to Ireland. There's a wonderful, useful map with transatlantic services for 2025. and they will service our national airports of Dublin or Shannon. And keep in mind as well for your clients coming in, especially if they are on the non-stop service mentioned on the Aer Lingus, they can come into Dublin and out of Shannon or vice versa. Dublin obviously is a much busier airport, but in order to save a backtrapper look, you can come into one and out of the other. And for those again who are maybe not as familiar with Ireland, some tourism quick facts here. In Ireland, we speak English as our main language and Irish. And Colm, I'm delighted to say, is a full Gaelscoil. He speaks Irish and will introduce a few words and throughout the tours. And also it would be spoken in the Gaelic regions and the Gaeltacht areas as well, and some of the islands, like the Aran Islands. National dish, of course, is Irish stew, but I do believe we have quite a few more. And then the popular places, everyone's heard of Dublin, Galway, and the Ring of Kerry and the Cliffs of Moher. And those would be places that would be necessary or asked for, most popular places to be included in itinerary. And they're asked for by you, the travel agents, or for your clients. But we like to blend those in with the more off the beaten track and some of the more rural areas, and Colm will highlight on those as well. Northern Ireland and Scotland, again, the same thing. We're known here in the Ulster as they are for our Ulster fry, and Scotland is well known for the haggis. And you don't need any introduction, I'm sure, to the highlights of Scotland. And in Northern Ireland, again, Titanic, Game of Thrones Studios, another one that's very popular, Giant's Causeway, and the wonderful city, walled city of Derry, Londonderry. So that's just some quick facts that you would want to keep in mind if you're planning. You can refer back to that and ask us where we can include those sporadically through some of your bespoke products.
Great. And as Nuala mentioned, they don't, they can take your clients to the hot spots, of course, as there are lots of big bucket list experiences, but Brack Tours really focuses on that smaller, intimate experience for your clients. And they take them to, the smaller restaurants and for those authentic experiences where the big tour buses, you're not going to find. So, Nuala, tell us a little bit about what they can expect on like some culinary experiences within the tours.
Yeah, well, there's no end to the exceptional culinary experiences right through the country, and some of them would anything from five-star fine dining to just the real hearty Irish breakfast, or the scone and the pot of tea, which we all love mid-morning, and known as well for our fine products, really across different regions. And like because we're a small island, and you have access to the wonderful fish, fresh vegetables, you name it, we have it. And keep in mind as well that we sometimes people have that old image of Ireland of the corned beef and cabbage. That's not us. We've definitely moved. I would say we lead the way in culinary experiences, and also for clients who have any dietary requirements, which many now have across every region, we can accommodate those. And again, on our registration booking form, we'll make a note of that and pass that on to the suppliers when they arrive at the hotel. So there really is no end to the culinary experiences that we have.
Perfect.
And here we are, and the accommodations. Yes, we have many unique accommodations through Ireland, and we like to do a blend of 4 and 5 star, whether it's a castle stay blended in with a manor house, a small quirky bed and breakfast owned by, or a guest house where you get to meet the owners of the accommodation. And again, some of our itineraries, we can work those in if you want to get a blend or a mix. And for families who maybe have the multi-generational family groups that want to maybe do self-contained unit where they have the access of the hotel facility, but they maybe want to have like an apartment type or studio suitable for the ages. But that's all more tied in with our bespoke FITs and other products that we can create. For the tours that are the accommodations that would be highlighted on the tours that Colm's going to bring you through, you can be guaranteed that everything is tried and tested by the Brack Tours team. And that's, again, the benefit of having us here in the ground. So there's any range from 5-star castles, as I said, to the small B&B. And speaking of castles, we are more than just castles. Yes, they're dotted all over the island, but from also along with the complemented really with our cliffs and the rugged coastline, the mountains, and they can all be tied in on your day-to-day touring as well with perhaps some of the wonderful art museums, history museums, Game of Thrones studio. There's any amount of the wonderful new visitor attractions. And in Northern Ireland, many of those have been supported now with the Embrace a Giant Spirit brand. So they have all been recently developed in the last probably 4 to 5 years, and an amazing array of visitor experiences for everyone. And I suppose Ireland is more than just castles, and Brack Tours are more than just tours. I suppose I'd like to say here as well that we would be known as a luxury leisure tour operator and servicing the North American market. And when I say luxury, I don't mean it has to be 5-star castles and experiences throughout. It's the 5-star experience. So blend those in with the immersive experiences, whether you want to have work on a working farm and meet the farmer and help herd the sheepdogs, or do some crafts and pottery and learn how to do a craft. Or if you want the finer things in life and you'd like to sit and dine in a castle and join the Lord and Lady of the Manor, that can be arranged as well. So we are a niche product in I suppose, for the luxury leisure market, and that's down to the blend of accommodations, visitor experiences, and transport options. And again, keeping a sustainable sustainability always at the back burner as well.
Great. Thanks so much for giving everyone an introduction into Brack Tours and who you are. Now we'll have Colm dive a little bit deeper into the tours specifically.
Thank you, Cassie. Thank you, Nuala. Just going back on cloning me, Nuala, I don't think my wife would agree with that one now. But anyhow, thank you very much.
We'll take two of you then.
I suppose the reason you're all here is, I know Nuala's introduced us there, what we do. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the types of trips that we sell here. So you can see off our slide, we've group tours, custom tours, private guided, and self-drive. So in our group tours, they'll be focusing on some of those now in a moment or two, and we're going to focus on 4 group tours that have set dates that are coming up. So set departures, perfect for you to join, easy to join, and set out for partners, solo trippers, friends. They can all jump on one of our group tours. And the one thing about it is it's great value for money, and these are group tours that I suppose that we've put together ourselves with our experience here, knowing the country, with the odd little hidden gem in it that you're not going to find on the larger, bigger tours. And they're set out so they're for smaller numbers as well, which we find you get to know each other a lot quicker. You get to experience the places a lot slower. So we slow the tours down so you get to get a feel of the people you're meeting, the attractions you're going to, and also the hospitality that's on offer around. So that's one of our products that we'll be talking about now very shortly. Our custom tours allows for customization, personalization, as it says there. But that can be for group leaders, families, friends, your way, your choice, whatever you want. We're here to listen to you. We'll work with you to make your perfect choice of a custom tour. And I say that's right across the board, from right across the island of Ireland, north and south, to Scottish tours as well. So that's something we would work very closely with you on a personal level. We have our private guided tours, so they can be any number. So from smaller groups up to larger groups, where you have your own private driver guide with you, which I think is a great advantage, being honest with you, particularly if you're coming to Ireland for the first time. It's nice to hear stories and hear from somebody that has a knowledge like myself that's out on the road for over a number of years here, and it really enhances that tour. Then if you want to come back and maybe do it yourself on a self-drive tour, that's where you can jump into maybe do something like that. So as I say, what we do is everything that it says on the package there, all of them are carefully planned with an experienced Brack Tours member who will work with you from start to finish, each process, take you right through from your planning and make sure everything is what you wanted, right until you finally meet maybe one of ourselves here when you land in Ireland. So, what's included in the group tours, basically, that we're going to talk about now today? So, your lodging. So, Nuala has touched on the different types of lodgings that we would use, but really on our group tours, it's 4 or 5 star properties that we'll use. A mixture of them, some of them in large towns, some of them in small villages. Again, it's mixing and matching that around. So, to give you a better experience and a better feel for the country. Meals we've talked about there, the culinary delights. Look, I'm an Irishman, and you're not going to get any more Irish than me. I'm a Murphy. So it's the most popular Irish name in the world. And we love our food here in Ireland. And we've all heard the stories of potatoes in Ireland. You get them for your breakfast, your lunch, for your tea, but we're more than that. And Nuala has really touched on it about the fine food offerings we have here. We have actually some of the top chefs in the world. And our fish dishes, our meat dishes are sought the world over, particularly in big restaurants in London, Paris, Rome. So Irish food produce is really, really one of our main selling points when you come to this country. You can eat as large as you want, as small as you want, but our offerings and getting your hands-on experience, maybe going to meet a chef, maybe make soda bread, make scones, make your favorite dish, get enjoyed in that. Have a little drink when you're doing it. All those experiences is what are in our group tours. Our visits, so as I said to you there a few moments ago, we try to slow things down so we don't pack too many visits into the day for you. And the reason that being is we want you to enjoy yourselves. We don't want you going home and thinking, God, where was I 2 days ago, 3 days ago? You're going to remember everything you do on a group tour with Brack Tours because we give you the time to experience that, have time to yourself as well, to enjoy with your family, enjoy with your friends, and to experience where you're going. Each group tour will include a tour director like myself. And as Nuala said, we have plenty of excellent tour directors. I've learned from the best in the business. That's Peter Clark. He's over 40 years in it. And I still turn to Peter for advice, even though I'm doing it a long time myself. And through a network of fantastic tour directors that we call in to do our tours, you're going to be guaranteed a great time when you come here. And I suppose the last thing it says taxes here. Literally everything that we put in the package for you is included. There are no hidden surprises. We can recommend things for you, but at the end of the day, the package that you want, we would hope that it's fulfilling what you require. And if you want little extras in that, we can always book those for you as we're going around or recommend places to you. Yeah, but definitely we do not have any hidden surprises or hidden charges on our trips.
Perfect. And then we'll kind of dive a little bit deeper into the 4 highlighted shared group tours that Colm had mentioned earlier.
Yeah, Cassie, thanks for that. So we're going to talk briefly about 4 little tours here: the Best of Ireland, the Wild Atlantic Way Tour, Fall into Ireland, and a Christmas Charm. So maybe if we go to the first one there, Cassie. So that's the Best of Ireland tour. This is hosted by our founder and company, I suppose, president, if we want to call him that now. He's one of our really top tour guides in Ireland and also an ambassador for the country, and that's Peter Clark. And Peter has taken a lot of people around the country over his tenure here with Brack Tours. And when we sat with Peter and said to him, Peter, on all the people that have taken you here, it's time that you give us a taste of what you would like people to come back and see. I'm just going to put a few highlights on it here. This tour will take you over to more or less the west of Ireland and to the southeast, covering the Wild Atlantic Way and covering Ireland's ancient east. And some of the highlights on it: the Kylemore Abbey out in Connemara in County Galway, the Rock of Cashel, I suppose a seat of royalty and priestlyhood, Malzard's Pub. This is where we get you out, get you active, get you involved in the sport of hurling, which is one of our most oldest and ancient sports here in Ireland. using a stick and a little ball, something like I have here. So you're going to be hitting one of these as you go along. So it's a bit of fun, particularly for all those baseball fans out there. You will enjoy having a bit of crack, as we say here. Crack, by the way, is the Irish word for fun. Okay, before you start asking that question. And then we touch on the Dunbrody famine ship, which it goes back into, I suppose, a dark period in our time and tells how people left their shores due to things that were happening here. But there's lots more to do in that. That tour is starts in May and goes into June. A lovely time of the year to come here before the school holidays. And I say there are a lot more surprises on that have been put together by Peter. So that's the best of Ireland, hosted by Peter Clark.
Perfect. And we've got the prices too here, the starting per person pricing, which I believe is based on double occupancy. So just a heads up, and all of this can be found on bracktours.com website. So just as a heads up. All right, next we'll go into the Ireland's Wild Atlantic Way Summer Tour.
Thanks, Cassie. So probably a lot of you that have been dealing with Ireland will know of the Ireland's Wild Atlantic Way. You know, Tourism Body Tourism Ireland have been doing a lot of promotion on the Wild Atlantic Way the past number of years. Beautiful, rugged part of the country to the west, where the Atlantic Ocean meets this little place that we call the Emerald Isle. Some of the highlights on it: Achill Islands. You go around the Atlantic Drive out of County Mayo, the Cliffs of Moher, which a lot of you will probably know about, stretches for about 700 miles, 700 foot high, 7 miles long, down along the County Clare coast. We go down into County Kerry to the Dingle Peninsula, and then we come back up by County Cork into County Tipperary, County Limerick, and in towards Bunratty Castle. There are some of the highlights on the tour, but I suppose the real focus of the Wild Atlantic Tour is basically the scenery. It has been highlighted in a lot of movies lately that have come to the fore over the years. It's not unusual for you to be driving around the likes of County Donegal, County Clare, and meet a famous movie star as you're going around. And you could be very sometimes this happens, you know, you'd be very surprised that they would take the time to stop and talk to you as you're coming along there. And that's one thing about the people in the west of Ireland. Very friendly. Sometimes it's hard to get away from them, particularly in the rural areas that we touch, and particularly with a smaller group tour. It means we can go into local communities, we can support local communities. Nuala touched on that a little bit. And, you know, there's those little hidden gems. And there's a lot of those hidden gems in that Wild Atlantic Way tour that you would really enjoy.
Wonderful. Next up, Fall into Ireland, which of course takes place in the fall.
Yeah, Fall into Ireland, as we call it, autumn here. So I suppose what this tour highlights really is we're an all year round destination. Okay, you never come to Ireland hoping for a suntan. That's a bonus if you get it. Okay, you come to Ireland to meet the people, to experience the highlights, to experience the myths and legends, the adventures. And on this one here, that's what you do. You get a taste of everything: a taste of alcohol in the oldest bar, Sean's Bar in the Midlands of Ireland, in the town of Athlone. You get the best of seafood along the west coast of Ireland, and Monk's Seafood a restaurant up in County Clare. You go on a cruise in Lough Corrib up in County Galway. Beautiful Ring of Kerry. And going on this tour at this time of the year, the weather can be as good in October here in Ireland as it could be September, June time, even some summer months, being honest with you. We had a beautiful fall here in Ireland this year, and it's a better time to come. You know, school holidays are over. It's a lot quieter. Accommodations are easier to get as well. But also on this set date, you know, it is really a good time to come and explore Ireland in the fall. And it's one of my favorite times of the year, actually. And I love going out during the autumn here, as we call it, in Ireland. And we take you to the final tour. And this is our Northern Ireland Christmas Charm. So we're going up to the north of the country on this one. And again, as I said, this is a tour and emphasizes how the island is opened all year round. You know, this tour really focuses on Christmas here in Ireland and how we celebrate Christmas. And you get to see 3 different types of Christmas markets in the city of Armagh. You get a Georgian experience to the Georgian markets, which is taking you back a number of centuries ago to see how things were in Christmas time. So it's a great experience to get on the ground and meet the characters that are highlighted during the Christmas experiences at the Georgian market. We take you up to the city of Derry, where you have craft villages, you have Christmas markets in around the city centre. You'll go walking and see the highlights of the city around the walls of the city that are lit up at Christmas. Great panoramic, and actually too looking over into some of the new parts of the city, which are really embracing the Christmas spirit. And also, it's a beautiful city for wine, finding, dining, and you have the old uh, brewery experience that you can go to at Christmas, where they have special brews on for the Christmas. And then we take you into Belfast, which is probably one of the largest Christmas markets on the island of Ireland, where the Christmas market takes place outside the City Hall in Belfast. Opened every day from probably the end of November right up until Christmas Eve almost. But a great choice. But along the way, we put in some excellent experiences, tasting experiences, drinking experience, hands-on experiences that you really sells what Northern Ireland is all about. And again, a nice quiet time of the year to come and visit. So there are our choice tours that we're on to talk to you today about. But we also have a lot more on our website. So if you log on to the website, you'll see other set departures that are going and tours that you want to inquire about. You can get in contact with any of the team here at Brack Tours. And thanks for taking the time out to listen to me.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Colm. And, I think a lot of people associate Christmas markets with certain regions like Germany and Austria. So it's good to hear that Ireland also has some options for your clients as well, and at a better price tag because it's a little less foot traffic time to visit there. So keep this in mind. And, like you said, it's a great price as well. Now we'll have Nuala get into what's in it for you as the travel agent, as our hopefully our future partner.
Yeah, so what's in it for you, the travel trade? Automatic 12% commission on those products and on those tours that Colm has just brought you through. And there's also group leader perks based on the group size. So I'll highlight as well, those are all small. Those 4 departures were small. So therefore, minimum 8, maximum 20 people. So you have that comfort, or some people might be happy enough with just going on the smaller tour. So they're guaranteed 12% commission. And if any of you wanted to take any of those dates exclusive tour, we can talk to you regarding group leader perks as well, based on your group size, if you wanted to make adjustments on it. Easily contactable. We are on the phone. I would like to say 24/7. It feels like it, and it's no problem because we have the access with our US office, and Karen's always there to man the phone when we're not in Ireland, and also through our email at info@bracktours. Everything is picked up, and I suppose it would guarantee a 24, 48-hour turnaround from your point of contact. Knowledgeable and local staff. I think I've highlighted that well enough, and the local tour guides. But also, what's in it for you? If you wanted to trust us with your inquiry or your guests, or if it's a special bespoke one, that will alleviate you time to work on your own or other products or other sales. So just give us your bucket list places of what your clients are looking for, and we will help and work with you, direct you as to what's the best product. And again, Colm says there's no hidden surprises or fees. So we just want to help you make the sales, because I understand that that is what it's all about. But it's also, I will stress that we at Brack Tours, we're not about, it's about quality, not quantity. So we want to really get that message across. And as I said earlier, we will work with you to design and help you direct your clients for the best product for them. We'll just go into the current travel trends, and recently at various events that I have been attended, there seem to be coming across, and some are maybe the same in other destinations that you sell. But for Ireland, these are just some of them. Slow tourism, sustainability. I know June coming up, we have it's going to be the month of sustainable tourism for Ireland. under Tourism Ireland will be announcing that. And that really is where you're going to see various different opportunities as well, and various different how sustainable travel is delivered. And people don't even realize that you're going to the craft maker, and that's you're supporting sustainable tourism. All those communities, it's all about communities and giving back to it. The culinary experiences, yeah, it's all here. We can have that if you wanted to do maybe a food tour or a food and drink tour, or a drink and golf, a whiskey and golf. The natural experience landscapes is what people come to Ireland for. That is not a current trend. That is what people come here for. Yes, they come for the connection of the people because we're just wonderful, but they come here for the amazing natural landscapes, which we do not take for granted. But we do have the luck to be living here and seeing them every day. The multi-generational family and friends or solo travel, I suppose that has really grown and developed since COVID, where families have said, that's it, we're getting away together. We're going to make those memories, create those memories, and bring them home as lasting memories. And the farm visits, if it's a sheep farm or a dairy farmer, or if you want to go into a farmhouse and help or get stuck in when making your brown bread or scones, and also those immersive, really bespoke to Ireland. That is what we're finding is what our clients are asking for, and it's what's coming back in the feedback, as well as your pub music, culture, and the ceolágas crack, the music and fun. There's also one I'd add to that is screen tourism, and Ireland we've got an awful lot to offer as well on that across the country, but in particular in Northern Ireland, there's some new products coming up there. And of course, the Game of Thrones studio is 15 minutes from our office here. And we have, if any of you are interested in Game of Thrones, we have some niche tours on that. And finally, inclusivity. Céad Míle Fáilte, Ireland welcomes all, and 100,000 welcomes. And hopefully we will be able to do that for your guests at some stage in the near future. And I'll wrap up here on my end with the travel thread that, yes, we're approaching to Valentine's, and there's no more romantic place in Ireland than Ireland to come at any time. So whether it's a honeymoon, a special anniversary, or we've done engagements, that's also another little reason why to come to Ireland and suggest it for your clients.
Wonderful. And then, we wish you happy selling. Again, on bracktours.com, just wanted to let you know where you could find those scheduled tours, those shared group tours that Colm is talking about. That's under scheduled tours here. And then custom trips as well, if you wanted to inquire about a customized trip for your clients as well. Nuala, anything to add here before we get to our Q&A?
Yeah, just keep in mind, these are small tours that Colm has highlighted. They're set dates, they're ready to go, tried and tested. We stand behind them, and we just want to make it an easy sell for you. You're guaranteed your 12% commission. Later in the year, keep in touch with us. Keep us on your keep in touch on our database and for newsletters or any blogs that are coming through, because later in the year we hope to have announced for some fan trips. And yeah, remember, quality over quantity, and reach out to Brack Tours, and happy selling.
Nuala, probably just one other thing I would like to say too, even for particularly on those set tours that are going, there's never been a better time actually to buy into a set tour for next year for coming to Ireland, particularly with the value now of the dollar against the euro. It's a great time to actually lock that tour in. For agents, if you want to take something on like that, it's a great time to lock the tour in, particularly the value now with the dollar against the euro. And, if they can be sold a lot easier, now is the time to do it.
Perfect. And with that, it's 1:40 Eastern time right now. So we've got about 20 minutes allotted for questions. For those of you who came in a little bit later, feel free to use the chat to ask questions to the organizers, and then we'll get to them right now. We already have about 3 or so questions that came in earlier. So with that, I'll go ahead and kind of take it away. If you all don't mind, Nuala, Colm, you both are free to answer. The first question we received was, how many how many passengers comprise of a small group tour? Like, what's that minimum commitment for a private group tour and also for a shared tour, just so they have that information?
Well, on those, the tours that Colm highlighted, they're a minimum of 8 for that pricing and maximum of 20. We can really package a tour for, if an agent wanted to set up their own, we can do that for whatever the numbers that they want. So if it's, and I just see others coming through there on the clarification on the custom tour size, they can be created for whatever size that you want, whether it's a chauffeur drive, 2, 4, 6, 8 people. The vehicles is what's the difference, that we accommodate or allocate the vehicles appropriate to the size. And we do have coaches that will go for 30 to 40 people. Generally, I suppose we would say that they're in around 20, 25 would be a good comfortable number that I would suggest that agents generally would go with.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Another question we received earlier was, is there an accommodations list that you all can provide them of just kind of like your recommended accommodations for the different regions that you sell? Or is it just more of a customized, depends on budget,
Yeah, there's a bit of that, Cassie. A bit of it depends on budget, but there's also, I mean, where would you start? We have so many partners and hotel suppliers that we contract with. It would be unfair to any of them to list some on our website, but also, we are our best kept secret, and we want to. And any of the tours that are on our website, whether the 4 that Colm mentioned, any of those hotels, there is a range, but they're generally 4 to 5 star that we would work with, and so there's no specific list. We do now are asking under our sustainability accreditation that those suppliers are doing the same. So the suppliers and the hoteliers on the ground here in Ireland that are also in sustainable practices or working towards accreditation or have their amazing accreditation already, we would give those priority. But again, a lot of it is down to budget and location.
Okay, fair enough. So it doesn't sound like there's a one size fits all accommodation sheet for those who are asking. It sounds like it's just going to be based on a lot of different factors in terms of seasonality and availability, obviously being one of them. Another question they had was, how far out can they book? So is it, a year out, or is there any specific kind of time frame for that?
Yeah, well, for our set tour dates, so those ones that Colm offered there for 2025, we're currently putting some together for 2026, so they'll be ready for booking. Probably between now and Easter, they'll be set. As for the trend from North American and Canadian market booking, we do see that they would generally book 12 to 18 months in advance, that they're at least planning. For the FITs and the smaller individual groups, they tend to book on a closer in, maybe even down to a 6-8 week lead in. So I suppose the answer to your question, how soon can they book? Send us the inquiry and we can certainly see if we have a tour date for you or if it's something that you want specifically packaged. But we are working and we have our contract rates for 2026 on a lot of the hotels. So I would advise early booking, especially on the chauffeur drives, because those vehicles are quite hard to lock in. And we would actually see, and did this year, 2024, having to turn down some business because there just wasn't the same allocation of driver guides and our vehicles. So book early for those. Keep an eye on our website. We will definitely keep anyone that's on the webinar today updated on any upcoming tours. And once they're up there, they're available for booking.
I suppose, Nuala, if I could come in maybe with you there on some of those, it's interesting that you were talking there about the private guided tours as well. And that's what we're finding. There's a big trend now coming down for a lot more private guided tours, particularly with a driver on it. So as I say, we are getting an influx, as Nuala said, of inquiries in that there too. So it is being seen as a popular way to go and move forward. And I suppose maybe with those set tours, and because they're smaller numbers, it actually, alleviates maybe if you had 4, 5, 6 people as an agent that you wanted to send on a trip, it might suit them. And you're getting good value from that too. And they are all private guided tours.
Perfect. That actually brings me to my next question, Colm. Private guided tours. Someone wanted to know what's the difference between custom tours and private guided tours?
There, I suppose, then probably overlap. So let me clarify. The tours that's on our website, they're specifically custom tours for Brack Tours, those ones that Colm had brought you through. Then we can also customize a package or a tour for a travel agent that they wanted created solely for their clients or their travel agency if they wanted to do it. And then the private driver is really, we would know as the FIT market, for the individual traveller, or whether it's for 2 up to 6 people, and then the multi-generational. So I think, does that help? We could probably clarify some more questions after the webinar, but I think that might give an overview of it.
Yeah, I think
And
that's a
there's
good
also
start.
just on the driver guides, on the private drivers, because of the big demand, there would be a minimum of 3 days for those. And bringing our sustainability policy and practices into that, you could dovetail it with perhaps taking the train from, say, Dublin over to Galway. There's excellent services throughout. And then maybe having a couple of days in Galway City. I'm using that as an example. And then we can have a local driver from the Galway region to take them on a private guided tour for the minimum of 3 nights. It's generally, we find that they would go for 7 to 10 days total. So as long as there's a minimum of 3 consecutive days for a private driver, we can do that.
Understood. And that the person who asked that question did write in the chat that you answered it. So thank you for that answer. Another one is on special needs, and I know this is a very important one in terms of if you have limited mobility and different disabilities, are you all able to accommodate them?
Yes, and that goes back to our highlighted inclusivity in many ways. I'll just touch on that from the hotel background, and Colm might do a quick answer on what they see out on the road, with the vehicles and the coaches for accessibility. All of the hotels that we work with, if we know on our registration form, we would clearly have on it like dietary needs, if there's any, and also accessibility or any special needs, anything that needs us to really assess the accommodations. But any of the 4 and 5 star hotels, and even the 3-star, they all have accessible rooms. We don't need to know the whole extent of whether it's a disability or limited mobility. We have supplied wheelchairs, mobility scooters. That can all be done in advance. Another thing that we see, which is like the CPAP machines. Once we know, we can advise the hotels. That's second comment. They know how to do that. We just liaise. It's about communication and us getting that right information to the hotel and to the coach driver ahead of your guests arriving. And Colm, you might want to add on that about how you work on the road with people with limited mobility or special needs.
Yeah, like it's very simple process for us, being honest with you, Cassie. Like, if somebody has a disability and we know about it, we go out of our way to make sure that the vacation for them is as enjoyable as for anybody else. A lot of the vehicles now sometimes have mobility lifts, depending on the size of the vehicle, the size of the group. But there's always a way around it that we make sure that anybody, once it's, Nuala said it there, once it's classified and clarified on their registration, what their needs are, we will definitely make sure that they're looked after on the road, with accessibility also to attractions. We'll advise on all of that as well. So if there's somewhere that I know that it's going to be difficult, we will advise them well beforehand, and we would say that to the clients when they're booking the tour, and we would give a good substitution for it. We really, I had a prime example there just last year. We had a group, and 2 of the people had disabilities, and we were able to get like wheelchairs to help. We were able to ring ahead to attractions to a hotel, make sure they were on ground floor rooms, etc., etc. So we tick every box when it comes to inclusivity, as Nuala has said.
Wonderful. And I know a lot of your audience, excuse me, tends to skew a little older anyway, generally. So that brings me up to another question. Someone had asked, can you describe your ideal or target demographic? because they understand this is luxury, leisure, smaller, intimate tours and not your big bus tours. So can you kind of describe, I know you have many clients.
Yeah, well, we sort of we don't have a target demographic because we are inclusive. We will welcome all. So for the coach tours, 12 age group, what is the general average age that we're getting? Maybe is what your
Yes,
viewer maybe wanted
age.
to ask. The general age, it would be, I would say, 70 to 85. But some of those 85-year-olds could be fitter than some 65-year-olds. So there really is a good
Right.
mix. On the multi-gen and the family ones or a private one, that could range anything from children right up to the great-great-grandmother and grandfather.
Perfect. And someone had asked
But
if
we would
two.
also say, I mean, for example, we find that the travel agents will say to us, we have 45-year-old couple who are interested in your tour. We will obviously look at the other bookings and the age demographic of what's on, and we'll be open and transparent on that.
Okay.
I actually think too that with the age demographic, since when we come out of the pandemic, I think it's changed a little bit too, because with some of our group tours last year, I've seen it right across the board, from young couples up to senior couples, but that doesn't take away from the tour itself. And it's amazing how you see multi-gens on a group tour getting together and having a bit of fun, and that's all part of inclusivity as well. So making them feel comfortable, that you're not segregating one from the other, and that's something I do as a welcome, and all our tour directors do as a welcome. When they come here, everybody is together here, and they get to know each other over the first 2 to 3 days. If they do that, I always say it's going to be a great tour, and that's the people that make the tours, and we've never had an issue with those things. Never.
Yeah, and they're perfect for the solo traveler and those people that maybe like to get away on their own, that maybe their partners can't go at the same time, or maybe they are widowed, or they just want to travel to Ireland. Could be a bucket list. So there's options for the solo traveler as well, with a single supplement that can be paid. And that's so.
That was one of the questions. Can you let them know what that single supplement fee is?
Yeah, the single supplement fee, we can of course let them know, because once we have a tour price packaged, or if they wanted to know what the single room supplement is for those specific tours, we can get those out because they're set. It all depends on the hotel. So we do have the single supplement on those hotels, or those products that Colm went through, and we can send those out. I will say that really the off season, there's maybe a bit more flexibility. If there was some solo travelers that you think that's how they're going, I would push them to off season, shoulder season, where we could source better value with the hotels. And that's just being honest with them.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. So thank you for answering that question about the solo supplements. It'll just depend on the cost of the trip and the hotels, essentially. And there's no set specific fee. And then another question we had received was about Scotland, and can they book their Scotland trips through you?
Yes, absolutely. Scotland is another one of our market, and we like to dovetail that with a trip to Ireland. And we may do another webinar solely on Scotland, but today the main focus is on Brack Tours and our Ireland product. But yes, of course we can. We don't have set tours for Scotland as yet, but if someone wanted to set one up with us on a custom tour for them, we can certainly do it. We have done many. Peter Clark and Colm have both had group tours of all sizes in Scotland over the years. But I would think Scotland's maybe for another day, for another website or another webinar, because there's so much that we can talk about on that product.
Perfect. Another question was about vegetarians. So I'm guessing you can accommodate that. I think we talked about that earlier. They might not have been on at the time.
Oh, you name it, any type of dietary requirement, we have seen it. And some of them that come in, I don't know what they are, but you name it, we can do it. The hotels are so used to it. Again, it's down to the importance of the communication on our registration form. And that's why we send it out. It's an easy document for the travel agent to fill out on behalf of their client or by their client, so that there's no mixed messages and information. It's followed through. Vegetarian, gluten, you name it, we can do it. Allergies, there's many. I could go on.
Perfect. And then another question was about the commission. Do you need an IATA number to receive the commission from your
No, you do
agency?
not need an IATA number. We can also on the commission. So on those set tours, it would have to be a legitimate tour planner, travel agent. So we would have to look into that. And that's down to some of our policies. We need to make sure that payments going in and information going out. But no, the answer is no, you do not need an IATA number. We're happy to work with travel planners because I am aware that there's quite a lot of travel planners that are still doing that as a side job, or even bloggers that are want to do a special interest tour package that if they have an interest in Ireland. Again, there's so many different niche markets that we can cater for.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. Where can I find marketing materials was one of the questions asked.
Marketing materials, we don't have any shared marketing materials on that, but what we can do is, so say for example, if the travel agent wanted to straight away market some of those 4 tours, we can send them to them and they can align that on their website with their own branding, if that's maybe what they do. But as far as our own marketing, we would have to discuss as to what their needs are, what they need, what are they needed for, if it's support, if they wanted to do a marketing campaign, but we would need to see what tour that they're committing to or what product. And again, reach out to us, whoever that person is, send me an email and I'll gladly work with them as to what they need.
Perfect. You can email info@bracktours.com, or if you want to reach Nuala directly, it's her first name, Nuala, @bracktours.com. So
Yes,
thank you for that.
absolutely.
We've got about another 3 minutes or so. So let me get out a few more questions, and any ones that we have missed, we're happy to follow up in an email to you. There's not too many more left, so that's good, but we've got a few more here. So someone was curious about the name Brack. Is it Irish? Where did it come from?
Yeah, well, Brack, that was, again, our founder, Peter Clark. He is from County Cavan, and that Brack Tours, the name Brack comes from his neck of the woods, as we would say. And I believe it was a loch Brack, but Peter, we will get the full story from him and send that out, but it's not, it is niche to Brack to us, and it's part of the founder's ambition, and that's why he brought it in. He wanted to bring a bit of his home place, his homeland, and the lochs in around the County Cavan area, and that's where Brack Tours came from.
Wonderful. Very cool. And someone wants to know what the best month to visit Ireland is. I know that's
Anytime.
subjective, and I know.
I would actually say any month.
Any month.
Any month. As I say, our climate is very mild, and of course climates are changing. We see that. But any time of the year is a good time to come to Ireland. I did say, and you're not coming for a suntan. We go looking sun, but we have some fine summer days, but we can get very mild winters. Spring and autumn can be just as nice as summer months. So any time to come. Nuala did hit on the head there about the shoulder season. It's a great time to come here. There's great value, particularly if you wanted to organize a custom tour over here. A little bit quieter, but we are seeing it getting busier, which is good for Ireland. We do see people wanting to come here more, and of course that close links with the United States and also with Canada. We have that close links there, and it makes it easier. And that's another little thing that we sometimes are able to help with. With people maybe coming on maybe a family trip, an ancestry trip, as well. We have kind of links that we can help them out with things with that too. So that can be done any time of the year. So answer to me would be any time is a good time to come to Ireland.
Fantastic. Sounds great. So you all know now, anytime. Christmas, March,
I will say that
St.
just
Patrick's
want
Day.
to say, Cassie, Christmas is the only time that Ireland really shuts down for, you must say, for 2 weeks, from around the 21st to 22nd of December, and until after the New Year, and that's when we all take our well-deserved family
Yeah,
holidays.
yeah. It makes sense. So maybe not the end of December. Maybe avoid those few weeks.
Early
But
December
any
is
other
brilliant.
time.
And also, we'll say January, February, excellent value as well. As Colm said on the hotels, at the end of the day, we all know there's rising costs through doing business. And it's not the travel agents or the tour operators that are making those extra costs. It is the cost of living, and it is the cost of doing business for the hotels. But for example, in January, we have Tradfest at the end of January in Dublin, and we could source hotels for like fraction of the price than what they would be from May to October.
Great. Well, it's 2:01, so we don't want to take up any more of your time. We appreciate all of the attention and engagement. This has been a really, really great webinar for us, considering it was our first. So thank you again. We have our winner for the gift card. So drum roll there. His name is Emilio Parito. So I will be in touch with you, Emilio, via email. Thank you for sticking around with us, and I will be in touch with your gift card by end of day today. Thank you guys again for joining us, and you have a great rest of your day.